What is going on, my good people? This is your main man Ben here, and we are Talk Active. I work in the technology field as a PC tech administrator analyst for at least 10 years. I like cycling, boxing, and, outdoorsy things. So we generally talk about current events, technologies, sports, or sometimes by request. We are regular people with factual experiences. It would be nice if you can contribute to the universe. Let's talk about it. Intro. So it's podcast 11, guys. It's going to be amazing. Today's topic is going to be a little bit crazy, but it's for real. It's for real because we're going to talk about why people cannot admit mistakes. Other words, being difficult.
You have got to be kidding.
No, I'm not. We are going to talk about this. So overall, guys, why people cannot admit their mistakes? It's so easy if all of us can just say, "Hey, my bad, man. That was my mistake. Please forgive me," and just move on and be a man and get over it. But other people cannot just do such a thing, and I do not know why, but it does happen. No! Yes, it does happen. But then again, we are going to talk about this, and we have some little bit of research happening. And for a fact that it is not a very uncommon thing, because we encounter this anywhere. Basketball court, grocery stores, in the job, anywhere, literally anywhere. But if you're a little bit more tolerant and, you understand a little bit more on what is happening, then I'm going to give you some tips and hints. Maybe I can help out a little bit. And there's always a catch. If people thus admit that they're wrong, they do not imply that they're really wrong. And, in real words, you don't admit it like to let the other person know, like, hey, I'm wrong, man. I'm sorry. Other people will admit they're wrong, but they're going to, 5 yards, 10 yards, and they will not say the word sorry or admit, hey, I'm wrong. It's easy, right? It's like really easy,
Does not compute.
I know, but it does happen. That's my point,
What?
Yep, it does happen. So what happens if the person push back, give you that, amidst the facts that you put, like, hey, the earth is round. There's only 24 hours in one day. Amidst all that facts, these people still push you back. So what are the driving things that push these people? Like, you're not right. This is what I have. You got to take this. But, you get the facts. 24 hours in one day. It's not 23 and 30 minutes. 24. That's a fact. What happens? So let's dig in. So we're going to talk about 3 factors that drive people on craziness,
You gotta speak up.
Yep, 3 factors only. So we're going to talk about ego. That's number 1 right there. Second, we're going to talk about self-worth or respect. And one last thing is a weak psychological root. Oh, yep, that's the 3 things that we're going to talk about. So stick around. So first thing, we're going to talk about ego, guys. Let's step back. Latin word for ego is I. I. That's me. Me, myself, I. Latin word, ego, I. Number 1 factor. That's the one. So, Yes, I know that. So prominently used involved on process of reaction is I. I know this for a fact. So why does people, what do you call this? Reject, even though they're wrong, they reject that. So simply because no one enjoys being wrong. That's a fact. You don't want to be wrong. You got facts, you got experience, 10 years experience, 20 years experience. You do not want to be rejected or wrong simply because being wrong is an unpleasant emotional experience. Yup. It is unpleasant. So whenever you see people, in fact, that they're wrong, they will reject you because that's the law of nature. It's not pleasant, you know. So giving back, what is an ego? Oh man. Ego. Okay, one example I give you an ego. Ego is a dream. That's ego. That's scientific explanation. If you dream, that's your ego kicking in. Let's just keep it real. Your dream, that's your ego, because you're looking yourself towards the future, not in the past. You're looking ahead of time. That's me. That's myself and I. That's your ego. It's telling you that this is your dream. This is your some kind of looking forward ahead, without amidst looking on the present fact, what you're doing for your dream. You're just dreaming. You're not, if you want to be a lawyer, but you're not in law school, that's your dream, to be a lawyer, but you're not in law school. So that's your ego kicking in. You're not going to be a lawyer anytime soon. You got to put at least 10 years in it to become an attorney, like a doctor, like a nurse, engineer, you know what I'm saying? But
Bummer.
that's for real though. Dream is an ego. People that rejects facts, the ego kick in. Nah, I got experience like this. I traveled from here to Giants for 5 minutes only, but Giants is 10 miles away. Maybe it happened one time you beat all the red lights, running 30 miles per hour in a road that is marked 15 miles per hour. It could happen, but yep, it happens, but it's not factual. That's reality. Ego is kicking in. Let's move on. Second, self-esteem. What is self-esteem? It's self-worth or respect. Too high or too low of self-respect is not good. You know why? Too much overconfidence. If you take an exam, you didn't study, but you have so much confidence because on a past, you aced the quiz, But then an exam, it's different. It's not a quiz. It's the entirety of the 2 months probably, and you didn't study. That's overconfidence right there. When you take the exams, you failed. But then again, if we talked about self-worth and respect, that's part of it. That's the second option. If you strike a balance in it, if you know how to study and relax, exam 2 weeks from now, you have a great chance of, passing or maybe acing. Yeah, but then again, if you did not do that, then guess what? You're not gonna hit that bell, that alarm thing. So what are we talking about self-respect or worth when we talk about rejection, like people being difficult? Because if they got that self-respect, they look at themselves so high and they looked at themselves like, this is my experience. This is what tells me of why is it I'm right and you're not. In fact, all the facts that you're given, you're still not correct. It's because they got so much confidence in themselves. That's just the nature of it. That's just being right and trying to be right is two different things. That's where self-respect comes in my opinion, because you can self-respect or put yourself in a situation that is so what do I call this? Like in a perspective that you have the fact, but you're wrong. But then again, you justify that you're right because you got so much self-respect to yourself and pride. I would put mixed pride in it. But then again, you're wrong. Then why would you justify things like that? That's definitely the definition of being difficult. I'll give you a prime example, man. Okay, I'll play an evil advocate here in America. I'm a citizen. I'm already a citizen, you know what I'm saying? But then again, I respect the law, you know, the government. Yes, I respect that. But when we talk about leadership in this country, okay, like it or not, we appointed a president. We appointed and we go through the election process. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, or nonpartisan or, independent. If a person wins and sits in the office, that's your responsible as a law-abiding citizen to still abide and do your due diligence of being a citizen. You still pay the same tax. You still got the job. I don't care what happens, but you still got everything what you got. It's just that your candidate didn't win. But you keep on bashing the president. You keep on bashing on things that every single nitpicking, that's reality, even in other countries. But like what God said, man, I mean, make peace. Try to make peace to everyone. I know it's not possible, but try to make peace. I'm just talking about the Filipino side of me living in America. But then again, if you're a Filipino and you keep on bashing the president, aka Donald Trump, and you're not even doing anything in your local, street or community, and you hate the president, you talk about him in the Facebook and all that shit. I know, it's an alarm. It's an alarm, but hey man, you got choice. You can come home. You can go back to the Philippines and do your old bashing in there. If you're not contributing to the community and you just like to talk and bash the president, you don't wanna respect the ones that seated in the seat. I don't care if there's I'm not picking sides here, but if you do not respect the leaders that's in that seat right now, then something's off with you. You got to change yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I don't give a crap if what division you're in, but that's reality. That's how I look at it. Yep. Pause for a break. We'll be back. And we are back. I just grabbed my Vapor Cool Severe, man. I've been sneezing and doing that stuff, man, for the past couple of days. We were riding in a park, and there's so much pollen in it, and, I gotta take it. We're approaching in the last part, the last bullet points that I got, why people are being difficult. The last point I'm gonna push on through here is that it's weak psychological roots, What's that? That's too scientific, Basically, this is how I look at it. It's a self-organized in both real and developmental time. Psychological roots. Let's put it this way. I'll lay it out real quick.
Winning.
Yeah, this is it. If you got past experiences in life and it affected you the entire lifetime, that is your psychological roots. It can be affected on your experiences, bad experiences, tragic loss, anything that affects your mindset. It's embedded in you, meaning it's blueprinted in your soul and your mind.
You are one pathetic loser.
No, I am not. But that is just a fact. A fact that you cannot deny. It's in you. Now, how you deal with that? There's really no dealing with this type of self-inflicted damage, I would say. You cannot psych anybody that has that. But then again, you would see exactly in the same conversation, in a different time frame, on the same person, it would be the same reaction. It would be the same gestures, everything that manifests on that person's the way they answer, the way they express. That would be the key like warning, you know what I'm saying?
You are a huge nerd.
No, I'm not. But that is just a fact. So basically, guys, we're going to summarize everything here, okay? Why people cannot admit mistakes. Put it in one sentence or two sentences. Simply because it's an unpleasant experience that directly impacts ego, self-esteem, and challenge the very core of one's psychological structure. Basically, all the summary of what we just talked about, you know what I'm saying?
Silence, Earthling.
Yep. How to deal with this? Basically, so that, you know, what we're talking about this, and I just yapped in it, and how are you going to deal with this? It's simple. First, you cannot change a person. There's no way you can change a person. It doesn't matter if it's your other half, your best friend, your neighbor, your coworker. You cannot change them. Nothing you can do with that. Nope. But if one grew up in a really harsh environment, there's little to none you can have them realize that the rest of the world is not that way. Like what I said, traumatic experiences. I'm not going to the grocery store anymore because of COVID-19. I'm traumatized because I caught up COVID-19 and I'm not going to do that anymore. I think that's where I got it. But the world doesn't work out like that. You cannot tell them, you know, in Wise, probably it's safe. Or in Walmart and Target. But then again, you cannot change them. That's the way of thinking. You can only tell them. So second, how are you going to deal with them if you know this person is hard to deal with or being difficult the entire life? Man, save a lot of energy. Because if you want to go through the process, you're going to need energy regardless.
Shut up.
That's a fact though. You gotta need a lot of energy to deal with this people and involve our personal thoughts or feelings on this conversation. So you don't want to involve that. Why? Simply because you do not want to be colored and get clouded with reality. What does that mean? If you say, hey man, we got facts. The earth is round, but they're gonna give you facts. They're gonna give you statistics. Earth is not round, but you know, there's satellite now, man. You can see the planet is round. If you listen to them, there's a possibility that you would believe that the earth is not round. Simply because we got satellite, we can prove that it's round. But if you take out that satellite information in other conversations, you don't have that information, same information, then your judgment will be clouded. Simple as that. That's basically how you deal with people. First, you can ignore. Second, if you really want to dip into it, save energy and go through the process. It's up to you how you deal with it. Just don't get it too seriously because you don't want to be clouded with your, you know, actual facts. That's basically how I looked at it. Okay? So we're going to give it 2 cents, man. That's about it. So don't forget, guys, we still got that roadcast competition. Don't forget to listen for your boy. I'm going to post a link in there, man. And that would be, you know, in June 16 or June 2.
Duh. Winning.
You know, we can just hope, you know, it's very, very fun exercise. And this activity of ours is very fruitful. I hope I guys, you know, help you out a little bit here in situation.
You're an idiot.
No, I'm not. But then again, this is a process for everybody. I think everybody should be doing this. Just you know, not dependent on any, you know, TV or any network. But then again, and guys, I appreciate you watching, man. Take care always. Thank you for listening. Always remember, God is good all the time. Once again, this is Talk Active. Peace out.